I want to thank the Republican leader of the budget, Jason Smith, for his work and his committee's work on this. You've watched us in the last year 5 times come together in a bipartisan way for the American public. It is now all changed. There's now a partisan route. I think all Americans agree exactly what Republicans wanted to have happen. We want to go back to work, back to school, back to health. Unfortunately, this bill is too costly, too corrupt, and too liberal. Only 9% goes to COVID. We watched the swamp come back to Washington. $100 million for a tunnel in Silicon Valley just outside of Speaker Pelosi's district. Or a bridge for Schumer. Or money for schools that 2/3 of it cannot be spent until 2023. This is the wrong path, and this is not what President Biden said he would do at the inaugural. Republicans want to work together as we have before, but unfortunately the times have changed here. We believe in accountability. We believe in spending money when it comes to COVID. I've watched what they do here. This seems like a payout for those who agree with them politically. That's a corrupt system, and that's wrong. The American public deserve better, and that's exactly what Republicans will propose. With that, let's take questions. Yes, ma'am.
What are your concerns with Speaker Pelosi's setup of the January 6th commission as it's been proposed to you?
Well, it'll be the same concerns that those who were on the 9/11 commission who led it with Hamilton and Kane. If you listen to their own words, Speaker Pelosi is doing it all wrong. First, it's not bipartisan, 7-4. Secondly, they don't allow subpoena power for the minority and the majority to work together. I mean, I would take those 2 leaders who I hold in high esteem, a Democrat and a Republican, who carried out a 9/11 commission, who did it in a manner that people trusted coming out. I mean, when I look at the first actions the Speaker has taken with their own general to look at what has went on, and you look at his tweets and others, it seems most of this is politically driven, and it seems like she's setting up a system to fail. And that's not from my words. Those are from those who headed up the 9/11
What is your
commission.
counter-proposal?
Mine was very clear, 3 simple things. It has to be equal, 50-50, Republican, Democrat appointed. It has to be equal, just like on 9/11, the power of subpoenas, of which way we go.
Congresswoman Haney said yesterday that she believes that the 9/11 commission the 9/11 style commission should investigate the extent to which the president and others pushed this idea that the election was stolen. Do you agree with her on that? I
wouldn't predetermine what to do. I've been very clear about after January 6th that we came out first with the 9/11 commission, just as Hamilton and Kane has said in clear way. It's only Speaker Pelosi who's trying to make this thing partisan and others.
House Democrats want to bring back earmarks. What are your thoughts on that, and can you get your conference's support since House Republicans right now don't?
I know the Democrats have said that in the last Congress as well. I haven't seen anything new. Anytime someone would approach that, they'd have to bring new accountability to it. We'd look at it that nature, but until that time, we wouldn't take anything up till we see what they're proposing.
Leader?
Yes.
Equality Act, I just wanted to ask you about. Democrats want it passed. Senate Republicans say that it's only an attack. It's not only an attack on girls and women's sports, but also attack on churches, opening them up for possible lawsuits of discrimination.
Very clear. I mean, if you look at Biden's appointments to cabinet members, suing nuns and others, this really seems like an onslaught against freedom of religion. For girls' sports as well and others. And now the Democrats have even taken it further. Can you imagine being an elected member of Congress, putting your name on a letter to a cable industry telling them what they should have on their shows? Or sending it to Amazon that created a company based upon selling books, telling them not to sell books in America, and that you're a member of Congress. Interesting to me of how far they have gone and how much further they want to go.
Last question.
Yes, sir. How are you today?
Wonderful. Does your state need money?
Does my state need money?
From the federal government?
Well, I see California just came out with a $10 billion surplus. I see how California has been shut down. if California needs money, I'd like to see what is actually requested instead of changing the flow of the system here to reward states who stayed shut down instead of those who are working. I think a more surgical way of getting all the data to see what is needed and who needs it is a better way to do it than throwing blankets monies out.
No, yes, or you don't think so? Or
No, I think California could need money. But if we're dealing with a $10 billion surplus, I would like to sit down with California and actually see where money is needed. I will tell you what California needs. They need to bring in who's ever doing West Virginia's vaccination, because Gavin Newsom is not doing it well. In my Central Valley, where we are today, we're set up where we could provide 5,000 a day. He was just in there. He cannot provide us the vaccine. So what California needs is probably a new governor. The management is poor. The schools are shut down. I'm glad you brought this point up, because in my own school district in Kern County, the D's and F's for this year have increased by 14%. I just read, was it in Virginia, the Academy of Pediatricians. The increase for children, anxiety, depression, obesity, all in higher than a 90%. So this governor continues to keep us shut down. So before money would be provided to this governor, as we provided before, he withheld the money to go to the rural areas. He used it as a political ploy. So before I would send money to California, I'd rather send money directly to the counties that are needed.
What do you think about how they're distributing that?
We already had a question, can you please?
Oh, good point.
Yeah.
California, so I was like, that's why.
I love the assertiveness, but she is correct. Did you have a question?
Yeah, I do have a
Okay.
question. In addition to the 9/11 Commission, Democrats have said there'll be a need for
You're kind of
security.
smiling under there, huh?
Well, you know, I do have to assert myself.
Yes.
In addition to the 9/11 Commission, Democrats have said they'll need a security supplemental. Have they been negotiating with you guys on that? What would need to be in it?
They have done as much negotiation on that as they have done on the COVID or anything else. No, not at all.
And do
And
you
they've done
think,
the same amount that President Biden has done as well. Nothing. Yes.
Typically impeachment proceedings from the Senate side, Councilmember Butler cited a conversation that she had had with you, the president, kind of going after you, saying that the rioters cared more about the certification of the election. Would you agree with her characterization of that conversation?
Look, I've talked about that phone call on the day of on national news. I'm not talking about it anymore.
Peter, are there going to be any Republican defections on the COVID package that comes before this week?
Look, the whip's working it. I haven't seen a Republican yet that found something in there that they would agree at. I think all Republicans believe in three simple things. They want a bill that puts us back to work, back to school, and back to health. This bill is too costly, too corrupt, and too liberal.
And there was a Democrat defection in the Budget Committee, so Democrats are already on record voting against this bill.
that's an accident.
Just much like our kids learn in school, like virtual learning.
Briefly, for you and the leadership, especially Congresswoman Cheney, do you believe President Trump should be speaking, or former President Trump should be speaking at CPAC this weekend?
Yes, he should.
Congresswoman Cheney?
That's up to CPAC. I've been clear in my views about President Trump and the extent to which following January 6th, I don't believe that he should be playing a role in the future of the party or the country.
On that high note, thank you all very much.